In 2012, a famous American investigative journalist named Linda received a mysterious email. The sender called himself Doug Mueller, and his story was almost unbelievable. Doug claimed he had once been a U.S. Army warrant officer. For 15 years, he worked in American counterintelligence, hunting spies and terrorists. But in 1989, his assignment took him to Anchorage, Alaska, and that's where his world was turned upside down. Because Doug discovered a secret hidden beneath the frozen ground, a massive black pyramid. And according to him, the U.S. military already knew it was there. At first, Doug only stumbled on a clue. While reviewing maps of Alaska, he noticed something strange. A huge blank area right in the middle of Denali National Park. No mountains, no rivers, no details, just one line of text. This area has not yet been surveyed. Impossible. The entire state had been mapped in detail. Why leave this one zone completely empty? Doug's instincts told him the truth. Something was being covered up. Years passed, and then in 1992, everything changed. Doug was watching the news one night. Reporters were talking about an underground nuclear test carried out by a major Asian country. The blast was so powerful that shock waves traveled 6,000 kilometers, all the way to Alaska. Seismologists studying the waves found something shocking. About 40 meters underground, in the heart of Alaska, there was an enormous structure. Not natural, not geological, a pyramid, one much bigger than the Great Pyramid of Giza, over 170 meters tall, while Khufu's pyramid is only 146. Doug was stunned. The news even showed its location, right at the center of that blank area on the map. He rushed to grab his VCR, trying to record the broadcast, but the story never aired again. When Doug asked his friends, no one else had seen it. The next day, he went to the TV station that had aired the segment. The manager swore they had never run such a story. But as Doug turned to leave, a young employee pulled him aside. He whispered, "The pyramid story was real. We reported it." But later that night, men in black suits came. They met with the boss, took all the tapes, and gave no explanation. Someone was covering it up, and it wouldn't be the last time. Years later, a veteran named Lee Pearson had his own strange encounter. In 1978, he was invited by a pilot friend to join a mission near Mount McKinley. Just a supply run, the pilot said, but what you'll see is top secret. As they approached, the helicopter's instruments went crazy. Alarms blared, the compass spun out of control, and then everything went dark. They landed inside a restricted zone, barbed wire everywhere, guard towers in the distance. Armed men in dark camouflage unloaded the cargo. No name tags, no ranks, no insignia at all. On the way back, Pearson asked his friend, "What was that place?" The pilot tapped his headset, gestured for silence. Hours later, over drinks, he finally admitted, the secrecy around that site is higher than the Manhattan Project, because deep underground, there's a black stone pyramid. It's ancient, at least 10,000 years old. And it's not just a monument, it's a power generator. Powerful enough, they say, to light up an entire city. And Pearson wasn't the only one. In the 1950s, electrical engineer Marty Johnson was taken to a secret site in Alaska. He worked there for nearly a year. Every day, his team tried to measure the strange energy flowing through a giant black pyramid. They never figured it out. But years later, Marty built a small aluminum model of the pyramid, and it had a shocking ability. It amplified voltage, so much so that a tiny current was enough to power his entire house and farm. 3 men, 3 different accounts, all pointing to the same thing. A hidden pyramid beneath Alaska. Could it really exist? Skeptics say no, just wild stories, attention-seeking, or outright lies. But the mystery didn't end there. Pearson's son once flew over the area. He found abandoned roads, overgrown with weeds, and even an old airstrip, not on any map. And in 2020, an explorer named Nathan Campbell set out to find the pyramid himself. He disappeared, vanished without a trace. His camp and equipment were found, but Nathan himself was gone. To this day, no one knows what happened to him. And there's more. When Linda investigated Doug's story, she turned to remote viewers, psychics used by the CIA during the Cold War. They saw the Black Pyramid, just as Doug and Marty described, but they also saw something else. Not just soldiers, aliens. In fact, during the CIA's Stargate Project in the 1970s, a remote viewer claimed there was an alien base inside Alaska's Mount Hayes. Could it be connected to the pyramid? The viewers even described its true purpose: an energy device, a charging station. And here's the chilling part. Alaska has the highest number of UFO sightings in all of America, over 6,500 cases on record. If the pyramid really is a power source, maybe that explains why UFOs are so drawn to this land. The truth remains buried, but one day, the Black Pyramid of Alaska may finally be revealed. This is UM Channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.